Congressman Louie Gohmert staying 3 or 4 more minutes with us. He's got to go on the House floor. He's got people in his office right now, but I twisted his arm to stay over because last night I saw him up there making the point that, hey, this politically is going to kill the Democrats, and as a Republican, I should be happy. But this is hurting my country. They're seizing the whole economy. Obama has the lowest approval rating, according to Gallup, of any president ever this quick into his administration. So the good news is they're stalling out. The bad news is it looks like they don't care. They're kind of ramming us. Forget the maneuvers. They're going straight at us. So into the breach once more. This is the fight. So, Congressman, your closing comments, because during the break you were explaining that this really is America-ending stuff. In your own words, repeat that.
Well, yes, this is nation-ending stuff. When you start spending as dramatically as we've spent, when you start allowing an executive to just completely usurp the judiciary responsibility through bankruptcy, the Supreme Court, and then just completely co-opt the Congress to where you can throw $100 million here and $100 million there and get a vote changed and get another vote changed and get stuff you want done to give the federal government full control. It is nation-ending stuff as we know it. And so it is a battle for our survival, and I can't believe you were up seeing it last night around midnight. But the thing is, I would rather stop the socialization of health care, because once the government pays for your health care, they have every right to tell you what you eat, what you drink, how you exercise, where you live.
They're already saying they're going to do this. They're a bunch of...
Absolutely.
Did you hear about the White House science czar calling for putting stuff in the water to sterilize us?
No, I had not heard that, but I guess if we're going to pay... Well, if we're going to pay $700 million like we voted last Friday to put condoms on wild horses, and I know it just says non-permanent enhanced contraception, whatever the heck that is. But if we're going to do that to wild horses, I guess it only follows that they'd eventually get around to doing it to us. But this is incredible stuff. And so, yeah, as I was saying, and I'm coming from the heart, I would rather stay in the minority permanently and stop this socialization, this nationalization, this movement toward the direction that kills the freedoms that we have, than get the majority back. It is too important that we prolong this country, the freedoms that we've given. I mean, Alex, to lose them on our watch when we've been given such an incredible gift. You go back and read, John Adams and his comments, and when he wrote Abigail after the Declaration, he said, we have within our grasp what philosophers and dreamers have only dreamed of, to actually govern ourselves. But they didn't trust people. That's why they said, let's don't have one house, let's have 2 houses. And let's make them where they can cancel each other out and stop each other. And we don't want them to elect a prime minister from within themselves. No, we want another branch where the people elect this other guy, and he'll be the executive. We'll call him president. And we still don't trust him. We want another entity that can just completely cut them down, and we'll call that the judiciary. They wanted all these checks and balances, and in just a matter of 9 months, we have seen the usurpation of those different kinds of friction. So I know I get calls saying we just want everybody to work together and be bipartisan. I don't think they do. I don't think they know what that means. It means we either cave in and let them run this country into the dust heap of history, or we stand and fight. As Jefferson said, the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. But the one thing I know, too, is that anytime you have economic chaos, people are always willing to give up their liberty to get economic stability.
Look at Hitler.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best examples, maybe the best example. So we can't let that happen. And Chuck Colson had said this in a little Bible study we had a while back earlier this year. When you lose morality, you will have economic chaos. You just will.
Absolutely. Every time.
Chaos, that's right.
Every time people become decadent, tyranny comes. Well, we're going to have you back up next month. I appreciate everything you're doing. And just like I'm up late at night fighting the globalists, fighting the New World Order, I see that you are up there when nobody else is there, fighting. You're there early in the morning. You're there late at night. I see the passion. I know you're doing the right thing, and I know you've done your research because I'm doing the same research. In closing, fire out your website. Tell us what we can do, sir, to help you. Obviously, this is a big crossroads, a huge battle. As the socialists, like Time Magazine headline says, we've almost got national health care. They've almost got their eugenics control grid over us. Can you speak to your website, how we help you? And then in closing, the Youth Brigade's National Compulsory Service in a group outside the military under the Democratic Party's control and the city year and the red and black uniforms.
Yep. Well, our website is www.gohmert.house, house.gov, but and then I do have a campaign website too if people wanted to help, because every bit helps. But I tell you, we're in a battle for the nation's future, and people need to be letting their representatives know how they feel. They need to let their senators know. And as I was talking to a guy in California, he said, well, and there's one thing other. You can let those bad representatives around the country, including the speaker, know that even though you're not in their district, which usually means they don't care what you think, you can let them know for the first time in your life you're going to contribute to an opponent outside your district. You're going to contribute not only with money, but you're going to go block walk. You're going to go help any way you can, unless they turn around and do the right thing by America. It doesn't have to stop at just the district you're in.
Well, I agree with you. This is nation-ending stuff. They're trying to rush it all through. We're seeing them begin to bog down, but they've got such momentum, they're sliding over us. In closing, and we're going to let you go, sir, the Youth Brigades, National Compulsory Service, the Democrats have introduced those bills. Your take on that?
Well, you just referred to the point in history where this stuff has been done before. It's done in the 1930s, and that was not the only place it's been done. This has been done throughout history.
Mao did it.
And well, that's exactly what I was thinking of. But this is the kind of thing we've got to stop. We have got to get back to our roots, to our basics, and then, if I could just end with this note, and I don't try to seek to inflict my religious beliefs on anybody else, but they should know our history. Every morning when President Obama gets up and he looks out his south window there, he's looking directly at the Washington Monument, and I'm sure he doesn't know. I haven't had a chance to tell him, but when they dedicated the Washington Monument, they put an aluminum capstone. Aluminum was very valuable back then. There's writing on all four sides of that kind of pyramid capstone, but on the side facing the Capitol, they put the Latin words Laus Deo, which means praise be to God. The reason they had it facing the Capitol when they did that so long ago was that's east, and they wanted the first rays of God's sun when it hit the first thing in our nation's capital to be boom, praise be to God. And we need to get back to a place where we can actually say that, because we are taking this gift we've been given, and we are not being good stewards.
Well, we're glad you're there fighting, and we're supporting you, sir, and Ron Paul and many others, and I hope to have you back up to talk about more strategy to beat these people. Congressman, get back to your meetings and to the floor. Godspeed.
Thanks so much, Alex.
All right. God bless you. Take care. Congressman Louie Gohmert, there he goes. Really voting good for the Second Amendment, against cap and trade, against NAFTA and GATT, against all these gun-grabbing bills, against the Youth Brigades, National Compulsory Service. We appreciate him coming on the radio show today. We're going to get into financial news and take your calls coming up in the next hour at 1-800-259-9231. I am opening the phones up right now. We'll probably even take some calls this hour. Can talk about the economy, talk about forced swine flu inoculation, can discuss the $23.7 trillion. And I've got congressmen asking this week, Private Federal Reserve Chairman Bernanke, where is the $23 trillion? And he says, I'm not going to tell you. So we're going to go over that and play some of those clips coming up later. Bob Chapman joins us. Then we're going to have a reporter who's been on the ground in Iraq recently and other Middle Eastern nations to give you a real report on what's happening. Dar Jamal will be joining us coming up later in the show today. But that was an amazing, amazing interview. And I did skip that network break, not local affiliate breaks, but we did skip that network break. And we only do that every once in a while when we've got a congressman or a senator or somebody on, and it's just so important and they've got limited time. Speaking of sponsors, I tend to get so busy here on the show that I don't even get to sponsors a lot of days. And I did want to thank a few of the sponsors that have made today's show possible before I get into the flu news.